so let's talk about our week one overview, which is what you're watching now. So I've given just a kind of a written, of the things that you're going to do this week. So we'll move through them and just kind of cover them. But probably the thing I'll talk about the most is the last item. Because for this particular semester, I'm changing the way are your options for doing the writing for this class. Okay. So, and this first item can create, depending on how you feel, a little bit of intrepidation. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll just hit next here, which is a video to introduce yourself. Okay. Oh, sorry. Actually, the first thing is the orientation quiz. My bad. So what you want to do is, having been through the syllabus, you want to take this quiz. Okay. And this is relatively straightforward, not a lot. You can see it's 20 questions, so make sure you have unlimited attempts, and we'll just go ahead. We're not going to take it in front of you. That's your job. So this is the item I was referring to. So what you want to do here is, because we are taking an online class, and it is good to get some, it is good thing to get to know the folks in this class. And what you want to do is create a video, and you can either do this on your phone if you have a setup to do this, because I know various students I've seen work through this have different things on their computer that allow them to do it. But at the basic, you can just upload a video from your phone if you want to. But here's what's important is, even though the due date, and you will see this repeated every week, this actual item is not due, and it's due once all your posts and the replies are done. That's when it's ultimately due, but you need to have completed your post, your video, and posted it by this date. Okay, and because not only does this give us a chance for students to reply, but it's also how we track attendance. It's how I actually will go in and create an attendance in the grade book, and you will see that. So here's the instruction, right? Create a video, 2 or 3 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be long. You can use any type of video requiring. The key is you want to put it on the cloud storage area. You can choose, and I give 3 options here that I'll briefly go over, right? And state your name, describe why you're taking the class, share something. Right? And the key is you're not uploading this video into Canvas. Part of this course is getting you used, if you're not already, to using the cloud. So we're doing this in a way that you're not sharing it with everybody on the web. You're only sharing it with folks in this class. So you can either use Microsoft OneDrive, and that's there, or you can use YouTube and create what's called an unlisted video. I actually have a video just for that. And then if you want, you can also use Zoom. Most students I have found select 1 or 2, but you might choose 3. Okay. So get that done. This is again, make sure you get your video posted. So let's just go on here. Make sure that video is linked, not uploaded into Canvas. If you upload that into Canvas, I'll mark off. So make sure you get that. So here's your PDF for operating systems, and you'll kind of see this as we move through the course, because you have quizzes every week that I've kind of already previewed for you. That first PDF is giving you kind of the more in-depth detail about operating systems. And then you have these videos from IT Pro TV that you'll watch. And then you will take the quizzes for the video. Okay, so it might be a little, and let's just actually for a minute go back here. And I want to show you just the structure, because this structure generally gets repeated each week. You get your PDF, then you watch a video, you take a quiz, watch a video, take a quiz, and then at the end you have your operating systems quiz that is from this PDF. And the reason logic we have aside by putting it here is that it gives you an opportunity to go ahead and review this document, and as you work through the video, it will then enhance what you are learning in those things. Okay, so I just want to give you that logic. And let's go back into this. We were right, I think, here. Okay, so again, watch the video and then take the quiz. You see the pattern here, watch the video. Yes, and I will just say to you, yes, these videos are starting to become a little dated, but they're still very relevant. It is something that we are talking about updating this content, but still it is very relevant because part of what you're just learning is the terms and concepts around IT at this point. Okay, so video, we're on Linux now, right? Watch the video. Now, could you watch the video and take the quiz at the same time? Absolutely, you could. I wouldn't know. You can take it multiple times to get the highest possible score, right? And so now you're at the writing item. So here's, and the reason I wanted to spend a little bit of time here is I've given this some thought over this winter break, over the holiday break, because traditionally this class has only had an essay writing, writing something every week towards ultimately having an essay you create based on a topic. And there's just a few concepts. You could use other topics if there's something about cybersecurity or IT in general. And these are good things to do, and it shows you what you have to do for this particular week. And then you'll create a PDF here. And then in this case, you will submit the PDF. And this is what you're actually submitting to me. Okay. So in this case, you're go back up here. This is actually where you're submitting this PDF to me. Now, what I've done here is, I don't know how many of you have heard of the Darknet Diaries, but I have spent probably the last couple of months really going through the videos here. And man, is there some both disturbing and really educating. And I say disturbing, honestly, because of this last one I just listened to. It was hard to listen to, but it was also educational, which I find every one of these videos to be. So what I've done here for this semester, and I'm just trying this out, this is a new thing I'm doing, so bear with me. And, I always appreciate students helping clarify these assignments. But each week you need to select a different video, must be at least 35 minutes in length. So he does, most of his videos are about an hour. But so, find you after you watch one or two, you'll kind of get the mode and you can catch from the beginning if it's something you might find interesting. But there's just a lot of content, and I'm saying also select one from the last, and I say 3 years, but really I would say more current, right? And so what you will do is listen to the entire video. Oh, I was going to say this. If you find ones that are shorter and you want to put a couple together, you can also do that. But in general, at least 35 minutes. But, I'd rather them be about an hour because there's just so much good content. And yes, some of it's storytelling, but that's the way we learn as well. Okay, so listen to it and then write what you feel you learned from the video or what you feel is important to understand from the concepts covered, right? So you're going to write some, and I would say here, my guideline would be, at least a couple of good paragraphs here. And then here's the other requirement is where there are terms or concepts that are new to you or that you feel are important to link, right? Put links in the writing that link to maybe Wikipedia would be a good one, but there are also other sites. As an example, in this, man, I hate to keep coming back to this one, but I've learned so much through watching a lot of these. But there was a server setting in Korea, and the difficulties they had going into for the Americans to come in to this location. Like I would want to maybe link to the concept of the diplomatic relationships, but that's probably not the best example, right? But also how Bitcoin was used in this way, and how, actually more importantly in this video, as an example, this better example is how Bitcoin was used in this way for this horrible child trafficking porn site. Again, that's even hard to say, but and again, if that's sensitive to you, don't choose that one. Choose something else. That's, like I said, I've been watching quite a few. These are the darkest one. Most of them are just really educational, good storytelling about penetration testing, about hacks that are done, about different, how people got into hacking, what their backgrounds are. I mean, just so much great content. Like I said, you can kind of see by looking at my watch list how many of these I've watched. They've really provided me what I would consider a great uh, bit of knowledge just about this industry. Okay, so this is back to the terms, right? So this is option two. I'm going over more of option two than I am one because I think one, yeah, and it's okay whichever one you choose. But here's the deal: you have to choose this first week which path you're going to take. If you're going to do an essay, then do an essay. If you're going to watch Darknet Diaries, so I'm actually interested how many of you will choose that. Right. So, like the essay option, though, you create a cover page and in the body provide a link to each weekly video you select, okay? And then answer 1 and 2. So you're still doing an essay style writing, but you're doing it based on a specific topic, right? And in general, make sure, and for this week's it's a little harder because you're submitting it to me, but starting, like you'll see this in next week, right? And I need to rethink this one for this first assignment. So we'll just have to, and this is kind of what I was saying here, is that I'm doing this as a new option. So, I really appreciate students working with me and asking me questions about some of these details that I've put in here that may not make sense. But just know this is a new assignment. And sometimes with new assignments, that's what happens. So, like the essay, you'll still create your title page, right? Actually, this should be gone because we're not doing that. Like I said, 2 or 3 paragraphs for each video at minimum. But you do want to follow the example of the essay. You don't have to do the outline, but just how you set up the cover page and all that. It does give the instruction for the title page, what font to use, what margins to use, right, and page numbers. So just like with the essay, you create the PDF and you submit it to me. Okay, so what will give me a good chance at this point to see is how many of you are actually selecting which option here, which will give me a lot of good data. Okay, I hope this gives you a good overview. One of the things I recommend if you're just, like with any class is check the calendar, right? So one thing I do is I open this in a new tab and then I come over here because one thing you can see is this first week is a little different in the sense that we have something listed here for the orientation quiz on the 12th, but most of the time the items fall on that Sunday, that week ending. But remember on the discussion items, or in this case, sorry, on this case, because there's your video where you're posting it, right? Sorry, my bad. What we're doing is doing attendance by this, and in this case, the intro video. Okay. I hope this helps alleviate any questions you might have. But again, reach out either directly in Canvas or, you can always ask me or your classmates out on Discord. All right. Thanks a lot. I hope this helped. See you later.